This regular meeting of the Oakley Planning Commission is called to order at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 16. We'll begin with a roll call. Vice Chair Verduzco.
Here.
Commissioner Price is absent. Commissioner Ramirez.
Present.
Commissioner Krieg.
I am here.
And I am Chair Chuko, are present. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Ramirez, if you would be kindly lead us in pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Ramirez. Moving on to public comments. At this time, public comments will be heard for items that are not on the agenda. I do not have any public speaker cards in front of me, nor anything has been submitted online. So, seeing no members in the public present here right now or on the phone, we will move on with the agenda to our consent calendar and approval of the minutes for Planning Commission meeting that was held on December 5th. Do we have any discussion, or would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes as read? Okay.
Second.
Okay, thank you so much. Moved by Commissioner Krieg and seconded by Vice Chair Verduzco. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against, hearing none, the motion carries unanimously. Okay, public hearings. Item 4.1, 2540 Oakley Road tentative parcel map and design review. Okay, so proposed California Environmental Quality Act determination. I believe we're gonna have a presentation from our, what is your title? Sorry, official.
Contract planner for the city.
Okay, thank you so much. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, Chair and Commission. Kevin Valente, contract planner for the city. I'm with Rainey Planning and Management. So tonight, oh, do you have the, sorry, Ken, do you have the clicker? Excuse me, one second. Apologies.
All good.
Thank you. Sorry about that. This proposed project is located in the western area of the city on Oakley Road towards Highway 160. The proposed project is located at 2540 Oakley Road near the intersection of Oakley Road and Live Oak Avenue. The project site is bordered by agricultural land and some rural residences. The 3.96 acre project site currently includes an existing residence and a small vineyard. The site has a light industrial general plan land use designation and is located in the city's light industrial zoning district. The proposed project is requesting approval of a tentative parcel map to subdivide the property into 3 total properties. The project also requires a design review approval for the proposed 9,100 square foot building. Both entitlements require Planning Commission approval. Here's a look at the proposed site plan, or excuse me, the proposed parcel map. The proposed parcel A would be a future light industrial development. The parcel B includes the proposed building, and the remainder parcel would include the existing residence. Parcel A would be 1.34 acres, and parcel B would be 1.84 acres. The remainder parcel would be 0.78 acre. And the proposed parcel map does meet the development standards identified in the municipal code, and the proposed use is also consistent with the existing land use designation. Parcel B would include the installation of a septic tank and 4-inch sewer line. Stormwater would drain to an on-site retention area, and the project would connect to an existing water line in Oakley Road. The proposed building includes various building materials consistent with the city's commercial and industrial design guidelines. In addition, the use of excessively reflective glare-producing materials are not proposed. New fencing and landscaping would be provided along the proposed warehouse to screen the project from public view. And the proposed project is consistent with the light industrial general plan land use designation, the light industrial zoning district, and the city's commercial and industrial design guidelines. The complete findings for project approval are included in the draft resolution included in your packet. And the proposed project qualifies for exemption under CEQA guidelines section 15315 for minor land use divisions for the tentative parcel map, and section 15303, section C, class 3, new construction or conversion of small structures for the proposed warehouse. The applicant has submitted a letter to staff applying for a deferred improvement agreement for the widening of Oakley Road and other improvements, including the remainder parcel, including the frontage of the remainder parcel, which normally would not be required. The deferred improvement agreement is subject to City Council approval at a future date, where the timing of the improvements would also be determined. Therefore, staff is recommending the Planning Commission adopt the proposed resolution approving the project as conditioned. That concludes my presentation, and I can answer any questions you have for staff.
Thank you, Mr. Valente. Do any commissioners actually at this point have questions for Mr. Valente on his presentation, or to Mr. Strillo?
I had a quick question. Thank you for your time today. I had a question regarding the septic tank, and then just Iron House Sanitary District is, have they seen the plans for this? Are they okay with it?
I'll take that one, Kevin. Yeah, so Iron House Sanitary District has seen these plans. They're one of the agencies that we send plans out early to upon receival, and we have spoken with Iron House Sanitary District. The location of the nearest sewer line for this project is simply not feasible. It's not financially feasible. The nearest one is probably in front of the school and UPS. However, that does not hook up to any main line. That is for future hookup. And those two properties actually connect to the east side or the rear of them and drain out that way. So the septic tank here is a reasonable request and solution to handle sewer in the interim.
Thank you for the answer, and also thank you for the question. Any other commissioner have question in regards to this item? Okay, thank you so much. We will open public hearing. At this time, do we have any comments from the applicant?
Chair Chuko, commissioners, my name is Mike Milani. We're the civil engineering firm made the application. It's a pleasure being here tonight. I guess we're the first hearing you've heard in 2024. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you, Kevin, for the thorough report. Kenneth, for all the help you've had on this one, and engineering staff. It's been a pleasure working with planning and engineering. There's a number of interim elements as far as phasing the improvements. Sewer is a good question about the leach field. The plans do take into account where the future sewer would be, so the lines going to where this future septic tank would be areas we would hook up and extend off-site. So we look at a number of things of how the interim would work with the ultimate, so we're not tearing things up on-site. So a lot of thoughts gone into this. The project, the biggest issue has been the deferment of the frontage improvements. And we worked with staff over the last several months to come up with a program. The owner applicant, Mr. Ken Ferranti, has agreed that as part of the frontage improvements, one of the long goals is to complete those frontage improvements of Oakley Road. We will be widening the road up to the curb and gutter and the new driveways. We're asking council to consider deferral of the landscaping, the meandering sidewalk, and in particular the overhead electric lines. The overhead electric is a considerable cost. This is a project that will come before you again in the future with the development of the front parcel, and that will be coordinated with the remainder parcel. That was purposely mapped as a remainder parcel. It's not part of the subdivision, but we've also agreed that we will be building and granting the right-of-ways over the remainder parcel. It's residential, it's a non-conforming use, and we just wanted to keep it out of the picture. It just makes things confusing. It's been a pleasure developing town. I hope to do more work in here. We've been here for a long time. We do a lot of work in Brentwood and Antioch, and so it's nice seeing a project come in that we're actually going to build. We will be designing the frontage improvements, and I think Mr. Ferranti will be building those, weather permitting, in the spring of this year. So the project is moving forward. The applicant owner is here tonight. I'd like to introduce him to you, just to say a few words. You can meet an owner, resident, and an employer in Oakley. Any questions? I'm here available to address at this time.
Do we have any questions at this time? No? Well, please go ahead and do the intro. Would you like to introduce?
And Mr. Ken Ferranti, owner, applicant.
Excuse me. My name is Ken Ferranti, owner and operator of Delta Grinding, local business in Oakley. Have been for some number of years. Appreciate your time. I want to thank staff for presenting. Mike Milani, thank you. It's an honor to be the catalyst in between that provides employment, provides more space for employment and opportunity within the city of Oakley that's growing. Staff here is probably going on a decade now from our original project, and continuing to grow within the city. So I appreciate you considering this project. We look forward to this being first step on this particular site, and then moving forward, progressing. So we appreciate the consideration on the road frontage improvement, well, your future consideration on that, that we can do it in increments. So,
Right.
Any questions? I'm open.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking time, and also, making our community, improving it, making it better, and also providing necessary jobs, right, for the people who live here and work. So.
You're welcome. My honor. Thank you.
Okay. As I indicated earlier, there were no comments submitted online in regards to this item, and I don't see any members of the public present at the moment, so we will close the public hearing at this time, and we'll call for deliberation. If members of the commission don't have any objection or have any further questions.
I had a quick aesthetic question regarding on the slide, the landscaping plan. If we could pull that up, is that possible? And potential question for the applicant. Thank you for answering. Thank you all for your time. I'm curious, I love this drive, grew up here, and I'm curious if in addition to the fencing there could be, I see the additional trees that will be planted to the left of the driveway. Is there potential to add green coverage or shrubbery so that the warehouse is not visible from the road? Has that been under consideration in your plan, or if you can talk through the optics of that front view?
Are we talking about the proposed building or frontage along Oakley Road?
The frontage along Oakley Road.
I guess we can consider some level of landscaping to kind of buffer the entrance there. We weren't planning on doing anything at this point, but I'm open to some condition modification that we study a little bit on that one, because it could be integrated into our overall landscaping plan. Just keep in mind that if it's 3 or 4 years before we get to the commercial piece, the frontage landscaping is probably going to look completely different, because the residential house will be gone. And my anticipation is that the whole front parcel will be subject to a further design review and site development permit, potentially a use permit. And under that program, more than likely we'll be undergrounding. And whatever we do there, from back a curb to the right of way, will be completely destroyed. We'll be removing everything that's there. So if we're going to plant something, it would be an interim kind of low shrubbery, kind of enhance the entrance, but whatever we put there is more than likely going to be removed when the project comes to the second phase.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Please go ahead.
So everything that he's saying is correct. One thought that is along in line with your question is, so we're widening the road to the curb line, and then behind that, leaving that for future undergrounding. Ultimate thought was that space becoming in the landscape a little more elevated with landscape trees and such, so that it deflects the straight view going in. So I know most of your roads have your median, sidewalk, and they're pretty flat, pretty level. So I've had the thought of behind the sidewalk, that becoming a little more elevated, meandering. One thing that breaks up a line of sight, which goes along with Oakley, is 2 rows of grapes. Often look nice. You'll see that a little bit over on Streets of Brentwood. So when you go down, you look towards the parking, and then they have the buildings. They have some general landscape, low landscape, and then I think it's 2 rows of grapes. And it's just enough to where you can see through it, but it diffuses. I'm open at any point in time, and I think Kenneth will back me up on this. At any point in time, you would like me to add something to a project, I'm open to adding that on any one of our parcels in that area. So I too like driving by the properties. I take pride in them looking good. So I'm open and always a phone call away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just to kind of expound on that a little bit, when that frontage is done, I'm anticipating that the Live Oak, Oakley Road intersection will be done, and that frontage will be dedicated between our project and Live Oak. So the sidewalk is a meandering sidewalk, and you have the ability to be able to undulate that up or down. And that kind of takes on the theme of what the frontage parcel is going to look like and how it's going to look. So the landscaping element's going to be, can be very elegant. It's going to be before you again. And we have an owner that appreciates that component as well. So, but it'll come further with the second development. And I was hoping that our work will encourage the intersection improvements to be done with the traffic signal. So it'll make things look a lot nicer down there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Very good answers. Do we have any further questions? No? Okay. If none, we will now close the public hearing and call for deliberation. Essentially to approve 2540 Oakley Road. It's a tentative parcel map and design review adopted as conditioned. Would anyone at this point like to make a motion to adopt this?
I'll move approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Krieg. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Ramirez. So moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hearing none against, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. Thank you to the applicant. Thank you, Mr. Valente, Mr. Strelo, entire staff for preparing this for us, and congratulations. Thank you. Okay. We have no items on the regular calendar, so we will proceed directly to the reports. Do we have any reports from the staff, Mr. Strelo?
Not a whole lot to report. Chairman, just a reminder that the next scheduled Planning Commission meeting will be on February 6th.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any reports from the commission members who sit on any? That's right, yeah, he's out. Okay, got it. Okay, so, all right, here are no other reports. Do we have any requests for future agendas?
I wanted to gently follow up on the potential for our economic development director to come present and maybe what that looks like with the future of zoning.
Yeah, we do have that scheduled, I believe, in March. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. All right, well, there being nothing further on the agenda, this meeting is officially adjourned at 6:00.